Buyers may find that Bill Wick's Amazon Woman videos bear a strong resemblance to home video, because that's in effect what they are. Wick sells them by mail order. His distribution center is his coffee table.
I'm Bill Wick.
I'm trying to turn the phone
I'm older than I look. I'm 78.
so it don't.
No, that's not right.
YouTube is so weird.
I'm younger than I look.
I gotta turn it slow.
Some people say I don't look that way, but
Taking the video.
Well,
I do wrestling videos with women bodybuilders.
I'm doing the fill on live, but sometimes it don't let you rotate your phone. It's so retarded.
Oh.
I hate it.
I started off.
And then when you don't want your phone to rotate for whatever reason, that change all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And all they do is this. And I said, what can you do with your muscles? Can you run? Can you jump? What can you do? And then I thought,
Well, it's just gonna have to be like this.
I'm gonna teach her how to wrestle.
It'd be fine. Scoot it back a little bit.
You know, looking back on it, there was a movie called White Christmas with Bing Crosby, and there was this dancer named Vera Ellen that had muscles all over her legs, tap dancing. And I turned to my dad, I must have been 10. I said, God, Dad, look at the muscles in her legs. And he said, yes, isn't that ugly?
Oh,
And I remember
that's how I
as a little
feel.
kid saying, no, it's not ugly. You can kill somebody with your legs. I am a little bit bewildered about the term fetish. Is it or isn't it? Who cares? If you like it and you can show your mother, I'm not ashamed. I can wrestle a girl in front of the world. I'm not ashamed. She broke her thigh master, so sometimes she likes to squeeze the neck. If you're buying my videos because you think they're real, save your money. They're choreographed. They're like a stunt fight you see in the movies. God, I'll never sell another video after this.
You still say
You can't be picking their lemons on a military base.
Hold on, I'm gonna Drew on.
Your dad?
Yeah. Sally was properly constructed. She had a round muscle butt, and she had nice legs.
Well, he taught me how to do the grapevine. He taught me body scissors, headlocks. It was like Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. I was groomed for wrestling.
There was Sally versus the Lemon Thief. Shot in my yard in the back.
How's that feel?
These are home videos.
When I made the wrestling videos, I didn't consider myself sexy. I don't think you look sexy when you're grunting and groaning and wrestling somebody.
Let's go. We'll take a shower, and then I'll take you to a good porno movie.
What?
I've always felt like a hard woman was good to find. Sally's married to a big, strong guy, Ray McNeil. Ray knew everything. I told him, I said, I'm going to do a video with Sally. So, yeah, it's no secret, no nothing.
Bill was paying me $50 an hour. And then I started wrestling
Sound good to
for a
me.
lot of other people.
Damn. Let me make a video.
Go ahead, body build girl.
He loves it. He loves the competition.
There was one where he was in it, right? I was lifting him. There's men that like to watch women lift other people.
They were into some funny stuff. Ray was okay with it because it was mostly about the money and making the money for Ray, because they needed to raise the money for his bodybuilding, for his supplements, that kind of stuff. They tried to talk me into doing a wrestling film with her. I felt kind of funny. His wife barely got clothes on. And I told him, I don't want some guy being turned on by me being choked out by a woman.
I'm weak.
I didn't want to do it.
Hi, I'm Sally McNeil, and I'm going to pose just for you.
I began to say to myself, why should I let these men exploit me when I can exploit myself and make money off the videos? I started my own business, and I called it Top Secret Video Production. My first film that I made was called Snow Job.
And the rest for you in the snow.
Not Snow Job.
So deep we would sink to our hips. When you watch it, it's funny. And then I made a wrestling video of me being in the Marine Corps. Somehow I rip off my camouflage and start wrestling the staff sergeant that's being mean to me. I even went on base, and there happened to be a platoon of Marines walking by, and they let me call cadence.
I'm surprised they let her do that.
Do what?
Do the film for her little videos. So they usually sit with about, what's that for?
No Marine footage. That's on the Adventures of Private Selena. In 1993, I got out of the Marine Corps. My best year in competition, I placed 5th in the USA. I was quite proud of that. But that was an amateur show. I would have liked to have turned pro. That would have been a nice way to make a living. But I was making more money in wrestling than the professional bodybuilders in bodybuilding.
I made a great living being a female bodybuilder in the 90s. But the money that the women bodybuilders made was significantly lower than what the men were making.
Of course, it's always lower.
Because Mr. Olympia,
It's like that with the NBA too. I mean WNBA.
Jobs
150,000.
everywhere.
My first one was 27,000. Also,
Wait,
it
how
was
much was
challenging
that?
as far away with about 150,000. My first win was 27,000.
Mm.
Wow.
Also, it was challenging as far as just getting the coverage.
Enough of this jaw-jacking and let's bring on the babes.
You know, it's all about easy on the eyeballs. A lot of the women, you know, they just weren't attractive, not unattractive, but they didn't bring the eyeballs to TV.
They weren't attractive.
Too muscular without men, it's not going to sell.
As the women became more fanatical about the sport, of course, they just want to eat, sleep, and train.
I don't know why I put primer on that one. I still gotta take that one off.
I was about to say, is there a way you can
A woman bodybuilder
attach it
has
or
a tough
something?
time
I'm gonna just put another
existing
tip
in
on.
regular society
Hey, girl.
because of their size and everything else. But we started seeing
Oh, you can do it while with this still up there?
that will pay.
Or
I'm gonna take that off. Yeah, I'm taking that off. I'm just doing these first so I can switch to the other hand. I just started on this one since you were holding her.
Gotcha.
A schmo is an industry term for a man who would pay for what was known as muscle worship. It's basically muscle prostitution.
Not muscle prostitution.
To just meet them in a hotel or something, or they'd meet them at their house, and the guy would, you know, not going into finer details, would get off on it. You know what I mean?
These women wrestle with the guys, beat up the guys, walk them around like a dog, all sorts of crazy stuff. You know, very seldom do they have any sort of conventional sex. It's all this off the wall.
You mean to tell me you want me to beat you up and I can get paid for it?
What are we doing?
We clearly doing it all wrong.
Goodness. And she said $50 an hour. That was before she went on her
Other
own.
people use the word schmo. I don't use that word. I made a lot of money off of these men. I will never degrade them. I would wrestle these men at a hotel room or maybe at their house or at my apartment. I'd move the furniture out and then wrestle.
You know Ray didn't care.
And,
You get his steroid money. Excuse me, supplement money.
Supplement.
I was married. Okay. There were guys that were in charge of everything, so there would be a time when they wanted a woman to take over and be in charge. There was Wall Street type of guys, garbage truck workers, and actually the garbage truck workers smelled better than the Wall Street Journal type of guys. They stank like they just went to the bathroom and they came and wrestled me, and I was disgusted.
Yeah.
Somebody looking in would say it's bizarre. I'm making so much money that compensates for the bad feelings I may have. The money outweighed the dark side of it. $300 an hour outweighs the fact that I'm wrestling a man in an apartment. If I wrestle 10 of them, that's $3,000.
That's crazy.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
flying cross country to go to New York City, to Boston, down to Florida, down to Texas. Those were like 3 good money.
Come wrestle me, baby.
Then
Basically what they saying.
Hated it. I absolutely
Oops.
thought it was the most disgusting thing ever that she could possibly do. The men that she wrestled were creepy. They were weird. It was embarrassing.
I'm the one that paid for everything. Made Ray happy that I was paying for his steroids.
This is where all men belong. Down at my feet.
In 1993, I'd spent $24,000 on him.
Oh, what?
Bodybuilding is an expensive hobby. Unless you're winning the shows.
So why this nigga ain't winning?
That year, Ray qualified for the Mr. Olympia.
He was so excited, he was crying with me. He had so much joy that he was getting invited to the most prestigious event of bodybuilding. These are the best in the world. He realized, I'm one of the best in the world.
For Ray, the Mr. Olympia was the holy grail. And now, his destiny was all up to him.
Mr. Olympia was the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. In 1993, the check for winning was $100,000, but the peripheral benefits of being Mr. Olympia were endless. Exhibitions, interviews, layouts, endorsements. When you were Mr. Olympia, it was like, oh, you're the king. You're the king of bodybuilding for that year. Up next here at the Olympia is Ray McNeil out of Oceanside, California. When you come out there, okay, it's just you, the lights, the crowd, the judges. The stage is yours. You gotta kill it. You have to make sure every body part is just gorging with blood so that everything's popping. Your biceps, your triceps, your chest, your back, your lats, everything's just gotta be exploding. Ray had some nice charisma, good-looking guy. His leg development was a little lacking. His calves were not good at all. And
his what?
The competition is so intense.
Said his calves and his legs weren't good.
Maybe he means by like their standards.
I mean, massive to the point of like scary, huge. Ray was not ready for that. There's no way he was going to stand next to those guys and be competitive. Ray placed 15th at Mr. Olympia. To work so hard in the gym and think you're ready to go, and then coming up short is it's a hard knock.
He took 15th place. They never knew how angry it made him. I knew. It was like he took his frustration out on me. He was probably the most talented person I knew. But he had demons to deal with. Ray was born in North Carolina. His mom gave him away when he was 2 weeks old. His aunt took him in. He was brought up in poverty. I went back there with him to visit. The walls were papered with newspaper and the floorboards were bare. And she had roaches all over the house. But she was a kind lady. She brought him up. Ray told me the boy that his aunt had living at the house sexually attacked him.
Attacked?
And made him perform sexual acts on him.
Ray was a kind, loving person. Majority of people that knew him personally knew he was just a gentle giant. He had a short fuse. So you just had to be cautious about how you approached him.
My dad was totally Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. His personality it always did flip. I remember, so I always stayed up and waited for my dad to come home because there was one specific situation. I don't even think, my mom doesn't even know this happened.
him and Jinx used to bounce at bars, and my dad came home, and he was covered in blood, like from head to toe. He had scratches all over him, and I said, "Dad, what happened?" And he didn't even notice that I was there in the house, and he came flying in the house and was like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Dad, you have blood everywhere." So I cleaned him up, and he was telling me there were some bad guys at a bar.
Not bad guys.
Fighting, and he had to protect himself because they were trying to kill him, and he ended up blinding somebody by sticking his hands in their eyes, and he had to blind somebody to get away. I don't know if that happened. Honestly, I don't know. I just know that the panic in his face that was the first time he had ever told me not to tell anybody anything.
I remember that. We worked together as bouncers at a club, and I seen some horrifying stuff he did to people that night. I heard they said emergency up front. When I was coming up front, a lot of people were saying, stop, you're gonna kill him. And he finally let go of the guy, but when I came up, the guy, he was bleeding through his eyes. So they took the guy in the ambulance. Ray didn't get arrested because the cops all knew us. But he says, he told him you kind of maimed the guy, he might be blind. So that guy wound up being blind.
Oh, wow. Not him out here blinding people.
He's a loose cannon.
No, for real.
Because he plays 15.
Everybody
He's like...
They thought he was a nice guy.
We'll show you
If he
what
was in a
15
bad mood, he
buys
could just
you.
come home and take it out on me.
Damn, she must have got life for that, though.
Yeah.
I wasn't telling on him, so they had no idea what a monster he was.
It'd be like that. People would be different behind closed
I would
doors.
say between 8 and 12 years old, I knew that something was not right with our household and how we were living.
Okay, you put that one back in.
Stepdad
Just your thumb.
was physically abusive to my mother. Very physically abusive.
The first time he choked me, I thought he was going to kill
Doing
me.
all that, you could tell.
That was shocking. And, my mind is trying to black it out.
I don't know if I can't see
This is going to bring up a lot of stuff that,
my comments
I can
or
put
what.
away, and now it's bringing it back up. It was like a lot of times when he would attack me, he would just instantly choke me. And it was like, why you gotta choke me? That could kill me.
Well.
I should not have allowed it to get to that. I should have left a long time ago. I should have left him the third day we were married. That day, he punched me in the face, cracked my lip, and then he apologized to me and he said, "I'm sorry. I won't do it again," and I believed him.
Dang.
My dad would come back, bring flowers and candies and tell her he loved her and he's gonna change, and she would always tell me, "Oh, he's gonna change, he's gonna change." She had this deer in the headlights look that it's just gonna be better, and it never got better, it got worse.
The time when he broke my nose, we were all watching TV, and that really scared Shantina. She ran out of the house.
Yeah, I was scared, screaming and saying, "Let me out, let me out."
I heard this loud crack. It sounded like somebody cracked, like
These ain't coming off. Well, I guess the Beatles rhinestone glue works.
I went and reported it to my
I said I guess the Beatles rhinestone glue works because these ain't coming off.
medical. I said my husband punched me in the face. They took him to the brig, but then they released him and he beat me into oblivion so I would drop the charges.
So he beat you again while charges were
Why did you
pending.
drop the charges? And I was like thinking to myself, why did you release him?
Exactly.
what else could I do? That's a big man.
Do you feel like you got used to a certain level of violence?
These things ain't
I think so. I think I got used to a certain amount of violence. As a little girl, my stepdad beat the hell out of us. And I think that's why I was abused by my husband. It was a learned trait.
My relationship with Ray was a very violent one. He used to abuse and beat me a lot, especially while my mother was gone. I remember the first day I came home from school, kindergarten, they would give us smiley faces where they would put a pin with a picture of a smiley face, and my smiley face was turned around, and he asked me why was my smiley face upside down. I said because I got in trouble for talking. So he got up and he went to the back room, and I could hear the clanking of the bell. And he said, well, you're a big boy now because you go to school. So I'm not going to spank you anymore with my hand. I'm going to spank you with this belt.
25th of December, 1994.
I bet when he was whipping you, it felt like a slave master whipping you.
No, for real, all them muscles.
Had lacerations on you.
Picking up after yourself. This gives me the authority to get the belt.
What?
Whenever my sister and I both did something wrong, Ray would bring both of us into the room and he would spank one of us and make the other one watch. I remember how torturous it used to be for me as a kid to have to sit there and watch him abuse the crap out of my sister and to know that I was next. I really hated him. He was literally
What,
like
little girl? What, little girl? What?
In my mind, I think because I'm in such denial, I can't always remember what he did. I can't believe he did that. I mean, he did it. Those children
You can take that one. Let me see.
to be mistreated like that. I was always protecting him. And I shouldn't have. That was the biggest mistake. Biggest mistake.
I would tell my mother all the time, why are you dealing with Ray beating you? He is not my father. We can leave. For me, I always thought that my mother chose my stepdad over...
Oh, so those weren't even his kids. Oh, hell
She
no.
never talked about it to anybody. I was the only person that she talked about it to. And it's because I would question her when she came to my house with black eyes and broken nose and arm in a cast. And I kept begging her to get out of that situation. But she wouldn't hear of it. He was her everything. I love him. He's so good when he's good. And I said, yeah, baby, but it's so bad when it's bad.
She had bruises, stuff like that, but I never seen anything physical. Except her getting into his face for and pushing him back, you're gonna talk to me, and that's when I laughed. I was uncomfortable with speaking around that. As it wasn't my place to say anything to them about what they were doing, so I would leave. I just, sometimes they're gonna ruin my time. I was gone.
So you knew of something going on, though.
Oh my God, they're gonna kill each other.
I didn't know when his ass ain't seen nothing.
He said he did. He said he didn't want to. He said he would leave.
But I'm talking about like, okay, you don't see the actual altercation, but you see that I got a broken nose.
Oh, yeah.
My arm in a cast, like... What
Girl, people be knowing, though.
Yeah.
People knowing stuff like that going on.
Bashed me up against the wall. He didn't need a weapon. He was a weapon.
He's
He
huge.
was a 260
You can put it back
pound
in.
weapon. Oh, it just sounds so bad, though. To talk about it, it just...
What?
What, little baby?
He sexually abused me and made me have sex with him. I want you to have sex with me to forgive me. That means you forgive me. And there was times I didn't want him to touch me.
People don't believe that can happen in marriage.
When you, yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Yeah. He would say that every orifice in my body belonged to him. I should have left, but I was so broken. I was so broken I didn't know I was broke. And then it's another Valentine's Day that I'm getting my ass kicked.
That's not funny, but
Happened with Ray.
come on, girl, you got kids.
I just shot my husband because he just beat me up. You shot your husband? Yeah. He was crying in the background. My daughter.
What's your daughter say?
Surprised he didn't kill her.
No, he's probably about to. Stuff like that, you'll never know how it really went down. 'Cause ain't nobody gonna tell the whole truth.
So, would you consider yourself
But there's definitely record of him beating on her. Like actual records.
It's instilled in me that I'm the violent one and the world isn't violent. But in my eyes, when I'm getting attacked, it's my right to defend myself. I have a right to defend myself.
But the thing is, you could have left and you didn't.
Leave before it gets to that point.
And that's why you in jail. Because you had multiple chances to leave. And you chose not to.
Ray and I had been married about 8 years. I was hoping that things would get better, but they didn't get better. Every time he's doing a show, he's doing more steroids, and that's the timing when the beatings got worse. And then this woman that I knew of,
Probably altering his moods too.
she got strangled by her boyfriend, and that turned on.
Let me know if anything get hot.
Oh my God, that could have been me. Ray's always choking me. Then I became aware that he's gonna kill me. That shook me up pretty good. I made plans to leave. I was gonna go back east, Pennsylvania. My mom was selling the house that I grew up in, and she made me an offer. You pay $50 a week, you can move into the house.
That's it?
Shantina was in 6th grade, John was in 4th grade, and I was gonna leave as soon as I had enough money.
My mother, she told us to be prepared to pack all your things because we would leave immediately and we would get in the car and we would drive downtown. We were so close to escaping.
But I didn't make it because the incident happened. It's 1995, Valentine's Day. I woke up ready to do my thing, be with my kids, be the best mom I could be the best wife I could be. Like I had done every other day before that. We were just having a fun day.
Oh, these things was in there, okay?
That's cement that you use to put on these nails.
And I was back there, I had stolen the grate off of our grill, and I made a fire and I put chicken on the thing, and my mom had caught me. Why are you trying to burn the whole apartment up? And I was like, oh my God. And so I remember her just saying, go outside and play. So we just ran. Later, I came home. My dad wasn't home. My mom was just trying to get a hold
On
of
some
my
of
dad.
them, they have kind of
And it was
like
Valentine's
I guess
Day.
like a marble effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I seen it.
Oh, okay.
I'll do marble.
On the couch by herself.
Marble in the little flakes.
Yeah, it is Valentine's Day, so I figured, well, we could celebrate a little bit, you know, just have a nice time. And I thought, well, maybe Ray went to the Caves, which was a bar. I was gonna walk down to the neighbors and ask if she could watch the kids while I went. So he comes home and I'm putting my makeup on. He says, "You going somewhere?" And I said, "Yeah, I was gonna go to the Caves to see if I could find you." And that's when the argument and happened.
I remember my mom was just like, "Where were you?" asking questions.
He's like 3 days out from a show. He's loaded to the gills with steroids, 5 different steroids.
The vibe was, it was an unnatural feeling in that house. He just looked at me, so I went in my room. And the next thing I heard, my mom choking.
First he hit me. Because I told him, I said, "Well, you look like shit. You're not going to place at all. You're not excited in the contest." So then he hit me. And then he started choking me. I got scared, and I thought he's going to kill me, and I'm not going to make it through this night.
My mom was gasping for air. And I still, you never forget that sound.
I scrambled away. I ran to the bedroom and retrieved the weapon.
Retrieve the weapon.
2 rounds and walked out to the living room and loaded the weapon as I was walking out to the living room.
What would have helped?
So you went back to kill him instead of running away.
He had 5 different steroids in him. He was superhuman. He was super strong and he was super fast in a small apartment. So I tell him to get out and he says no. So I shot him.
This loud sound. And I thought my dad had
I don't know, they ate her up in court.
China cabinet.
Shantini
Oh, let me
came
get this
running out
one.
with a baseball bat because she thought Ray had finally killed me.
I guess that was the second time my mom shot my father. When I walked into it, my mother was standing next to me holding a shotgun, and my dad was falling to the ground. I tried to help him.
I woke up to the screaming of my sister. That's what woke me up. I kind of stayed in the room because I could see Ray
Put it on top.
laying on the floor.
There was blood everywhere, and it smelled like copper, like pennies.
He's on the ground. So I go out and I grab the blanket and I came in and brought it and covered him to prevent shock. And then I walk out. And one neighbor's walking by and I handed him the weapon. And then I went back in the house. And the reason I handed him the weapon was so that they know I'm not going to shoot anybody. I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm not a threat to anybody.
I just shot my husband because he just beat me up. You shot your husband? Yes, I'm at 1802 South Tremont.
Okay, let me see this one.
My daughter. Okay, is he dead? He's shot? Okay, what's your name? My name is Sally McNeil.
What would have helped the situation potentially is they could have seen she did a warning shot, but of course, they're still going to focus most on he had opportunities to leave and whatever.
That's why she went to jail. I know it is. Because they always say stuff like that in court. Like, why didn't you leave? You pressed all these charges on him up until this day. You should have left.
And saying why. That's all I know.
Okay, we gotta take some gunshot.
I had to walk over his body
Mm.
as he was bleeding, and to tell you the truth, it was a relief. Even if he lived, he would never be able to beat me, my mother, or my sister again. I knew that it was over. The ambulance came. They took me right to the hospital. They took my sister and they put us in a separate police car. And we cried out and yelled for our mother as hard as a human can cry.
I said no.
He's so dramatic. He's very dramatized.
I tried to kick out the door and kick out the window, and I know that police officer was crying when he took us and we all left. We all went to the police station and just were waiting for a long time. I remember just crying and saying, what happened? Why did this happen?
You can put that one back in. What'd she say?
The police asked the children questions and they answered what they knew. No. I was there pretty much throughout the night. I couldn't sleep. I can't eat, didn't have an appetite. I felt awful. I felt guilty. And I think because I felt guilty and awful, it just made a difference when I was getting interviewed by the police. I should have just said, I want a lawyer.
Yeah, you should have.
But instead, I was, just explaining what happened, telling them what happened. I wanted to get out of the house.
Always lawyer up, lady.
So then I ran back into the bedroom.
Especially if you kill somebody.
And I came out and I wanted to threaten him with it.
You can't even prove I did
He
it.
was standing there,
Exactly.
his chicken, and I aimed it at him, and I think he came after me, and I wanted to threaten him, just scare him, and then when he was gonna come after me, I got scared and I shot him. And then he came after me again and I shot him. I was scared that he was gonna hurt me. I was actually afraid just to even point the weapon at him because he would probably choke me to death. So then I shot him again when he came after me, and then I, realized that I had really done bad damage to him, and I called the police.
Okay.
I think they asked me for, what had happened, like in 3 different ways, and I think it was like 3 to 6 hours.
Well, all this time we've been talking, we haven't asked this at all about, what he is doing now. That you know that you're really seriously injured. You know that. Looking at all the blood. I asked her to go to the police station, and you wouldn't tell me. Yeah, I'm going to tell you now. Okay, it's very bad news. You just didn't think it.
Girl, don't cry now.
Okay, so I understand the position that puts you in. I murdered him.
Yes, you did, lady. That's her crying for me. Like she ain't know that she killed that man. The lady said, mm-hmm.
You know, they ready to get off.
God.
They was quick to tell her, yeah, so he died.
I wish I would have done it a better way.
A better way.
Well, there's always what they call Monday morning quarterbacking. You just can't, some actions that you just can't take back. What?
What gets me the most is
the first thing that's going to happen.
Oh, hold on.
We've got a routine thing that we have to.
What time is it where you are? Girl, I don't even know. Oops. Probably one something. It's 1:52. Hey, Brianna.
How long did they try? To revive them? I'm not certain. All I know is that they spent some time down at the hospital. It
wasn't like he died in the ambulance. I just don't know how long after that.
I was in shock.
I don't know why. Shot that man twice.
Killed the man that I loved the most in the world.
Are my kids still hurt? Yeah. Can they all work something out?
And then, I mean, I have different blips in my mind about what happened. Within a couple of hours, my mother talked to us.
Hey, why don't you guys sit and visit the little wet?
I was still wearing my pajamas. I think my brother was wearing his pajamas as well. Like, I didn't think any of that stuff was real. I really thought I was just dreaming the whole thing.
Okay, I'm okay. You guys are going to be going to Pennsylvania a little sooner than I had planned.
No shit.
And, first of all, you're going to got more toys, huh? You're going to be going to a shelter until one of my sisters or my mom comes out and gets you. Someone else's house? Yes. Well, no, not somebody else's house. It's like, it's going to be a whole bunch of kids are going to be there because of what I did to Daddy. Yeah. I'm sorry, Peter.
Their hair is so pretty. They have like blonde hair.
They're gonna put me. I have to go through court. I have to be on trial. They're gonna try me for murder. Oh, trial too? No, you didn't do anything. What? Remember that police officer? If he thought that he was gonna kill you, that was self-defense because Mark's son. I know, but they have to go through a court system and then you just tell them that. I will.
Aww.
That's what happened. I told them everything that happened. You'll be okay. You'll be where you're loved.
Just tell him that. Girl, they ain't that smart. Because their mama is definitely going to jail. And that self-defense plea is not about to work.
Sorry if I'm disappointed you, Daddy. You're such a good little boy. I don't want to leave, Mommy. I know, but you have to. Just think of it this way. I'll be back, okay? And everything's over. You in trouble? Yes,
For the longest time, I blamed myself. A lot. I would blame myself for, just, I felt like it was my fault because multiple times that night I tried to stop my parents from arguing.
He was a man again, That would be so good if he just go to jail for about a month. I just hope one of the jurors vote that you're not guilty and you go free.
Aww.
We'll see.
This is hard. Oh.
Please forgive me. I do.
That's
That
sad.
was the worst night of my life. I shattered everybody's life around me.
Why don't you give your mom a hug and a kiss and say goodbye? Okay? Yeah, just a few minutes. You guys will be leaving, alright?
Children's Services took the children to a children's home.
But you still have my love.
I had no idea what was going to happen. And it ended up being like we were in prison.
Wow. What happens when your moms do dumb stuff and don't think about y'all first?
There were hundreds of kids.
We were all like the unwanted. That's how it felt. Yeah.
Ray McNeil was shot to death Tuesday night at the couple's Oceanside apartment. Sally McNeil, a former Marine and bodybuilder, took a shotgun and blasted her husband, Ray, then reloaded and shot him again in the face.
I see that quite at the time, a domestic problem.
When I heard about what happened, I just couldn't really believe it. It was very shocking, and my first thought was, is she okay? Is Sally okay?
McNeil was a competitive bodybuilder, now accused of killing her husband Ray. And that is our top story.
There's a couple different types of homicides. There are whodunits and what is it. The McNeil case is a what is it. There's no question Sally shot Ray McNeil. There's no question that's a murder. The question is there a viable defense? My name is Dan Goldstein, and I was the prosecutor in charge of prosecuting Sally McNeil in the Family Protection Division. Part of being a prosecutor is not only how effective you are in court, but your reputation. I think the justice was there. In the 90s, I was the top gun in San Diego. I had prosecuted many high-profile homicides. I was aggressive and sometimes feared. Anytime anybody shakes a baby to death, that's a 25 to life crime. There's just no exceptions to it. I first heard about this case the day after the homicide. There was a call from the Oceanside detectives. I reviewed the videotapes of the defendant's interviews, and I was intrigued by the case.
It was Valentine's Day again, and I'm getting beat up again on Valentine's Day.
Looking at Sally McNeil's behavior, to me, I didn't see a great deal of remorse there, nor did I see her being the fearful, battered woman she claimed to be.
What did you expect to see? Like, what did you want her to show?
In the middle of the interview, when the detective
He's
stepped
dead.
out of the room, she had covered herself with a blanket, laid on the floor, and took a nap. I thought, wow, that is something that a person who is not guilty of murder would never do.
I don't know. I just was answering the questions to the best of my ability, and I just shot my husband, so I'm in shock.
I don't remember the exact thing that I said.
All through the night, they asked me questions, and then I think the next day I was like, I think I need a lawyer. And then they got me a lawyer.
All right, please.
You think?
Division 6 of North Carolina recorded now in session. Got Michael L. Burley, Judge presiding. Please be seated. Come to order.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. William Raffel for Mrs. McNeil. I am Bill Raffel, and in 1995, I was with the alternate public defender's office. I met Sally McNeil as a result of a court appointment to represent her.
Today, the former Marine and female bodybuilder, Sally McNeil, pleaded not guilty to murder charges.
I had about 15 years of criminal defense experience and had tried a number of homicides. In Sally, you have a unique woman. She was not your ordinary leave-it-to-beaver mom who looked as if she could be the subject of battering. I mean, she gave the appearance of being someone who could take care of themselves physically. But I would have to prove Sally is a victim of domestic abuse.
I mean, look at her husband. You acting like
He was huge.
Like, how could it don't matter if she was a bodybuilder?
Exactly.
His big ass.
Taking out the shoulder pads from my clothes.
You could abuse y'all and y'all men.
Exactly.
And we want them to know that you're not a big woman.
The fact that she shot an unarmed man twice, once at close range and once from distance, the people are going to request $1 million bail.
When I arraign a murder defendant, I expect $1 million bail. But the defense was able to persuade the judge, without hearing any evidence, that Sally was a battered woman.
Fortunately, the bail was reduced.
You didn't need no evidence because it was on file. She went to hospital and she had police records.
Network of supporters. Kind of a little fan club. Men who would pay to wrestle and grapple with women who would throw them around. And some of her clients came together for her and helped put up the bail bond, and she was released on bail.
bodybuilding community turned on me, but not the wrestling community. These men that they consider schmoes stuck by my side. After the night of the incident, they had separated me and the children.
Why did just come let the grandma take them? Y'all just threw them in.
I think she lived in a different state, so they had to give her time to come. But usually that's not how it works. They don't just give it to the parents. Usually they have to go through the courts and everything for you to completely sign them over. But I don't know. Maybe she must have lived in a different state.
Yeah, she lived in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Honestly, though, I feel like I don't necessarily agree with that because, you know, granted, legally you gotta go through that, but I mean, dang, like, you know how long that's gonna take?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And then all the while,
But usually, yeah, I'm about to say usually, well, now, if something happens like that, they ask you, do you have any family that you can go with until y'all are able to go to court and get it situated in court.
That is not quick at all. Like, you won't be sitting in foster care for months.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, it could even take years.
Months that I was in for 4 months and then I bailed out, but by that time they were back east with my parents.
Oh, okay.
My grandparents agreed to take us in so we didn't have to go to a foster home. I thank God that my grandparents did that because we went to a good home. When my grandparents raised their children, they were alcoholics. By the time
y'all just all messed up.
They were not alcoholics, and they were a lot more mature. For them to step up and take care of us was a blessing.
So I decided let them stay back there in case I get found guilty, and that way they won't get disrupted again.
She came to the house as soon as she was posted bail. She just got up and come to my house. I talked to her, and she said that she had no choice that night. She said she went to the closet and got the gun. He knew that she was going to the closet. He knew that's where the gun was. And she said, did he slow him down a bit? And it was either get rid of him or me and the kids get hurt. And she said, I chose to get rid of him instead.
Court records show a history of domestic abuse, but police say they also found steroids in the apartment. These potent and illegal drugs help build muscle. Steroids can also cause violent mood swings.
The steroid use, to me, is a little bit of a red herring.
Oh yeah, I am. Okay. Well, I'm gonna make it thicker after I put this one on. Well, I'm not done shaping on this
Sally
stuff.
had one. But Sally's defense was never, I did this because I was on steroids. Nor was her defense that Ray was on steroids and that's why he was so aggressive towards me. The basis of the case, the touchstone of the case, was that the relationship was violent.
Sally claims the shooting of
Let me
her
see your
husband
thumb.
was self-defense, that he hit her on numerous
I think I need it
occasions,
too.
including the night she shot him.
Her attorney says Sally McNeil was being choked.
Bless you.
The shooting was self-defense.
He was a rather large, muscular individual, and as you can see, she was shorter than I am, and not as well built as he, certainly.
Oh no, I don't need that.
Oh, okay.
That's a, just let me see your finger.
Oh, finger.
Oh, what you think? I said the picture? Oh.
They try to turn him into a villain. Person, I think it was steroid black guy, big black guy that attacked his wife.
Well, apparently not if she went to jail.
Deserved what he got. Ray McNeil attacked her because that was her story. That's not the story.
Were you there? Because last time I checked, you was leaving every time something went down.
And you even admitted that there was stuff going on, but you, like you said,
You ain't want to see it. So I think you should be quiet, sir.
When you begin a homicide investigation, you want to start
that's the
interviewing
other
witnesses.
tragedy too,
Do
because
the interviews.
people
You're
can
not
know,
just asking them
you know,
and
but
not
they
help.
still- I don't care if y'all was homies, like,
Oh yeah, that was his friend too.
yeah, that was his friend.
Everybody that talked about Sally,
He knew what was going on.
victims of her violence, or had been witnesses to it. They all knew that Sally was violent.
I remember one time they had a fight. Ray was in a lever. She went out on the balcony and threw dumbbells down on his car.
Was Ray in the car at the time?
Yes.
We were able to obtain Sally's service record handbook.
Not her
from the
throwing
Marines.
dumbbells on the car.
In that book was her entire career while she was in the Marines. And it was all her judicial punishments, non-judicial punishments, all the times she got in trouble, all the police reports over the years. There were numerous cases in that service record handbook. I mean, she was a fighter.
And so was he.
Like, that doesn't...
Wasn't, the perfect housewife.
Girl, they gotta try to make her look like she was just a terrible person.
Aggressive. Very aggressive.
The one and only Victor, champion of champions.
I remember my mother used to brag about her wedding ring and the rings that she would wear. And she would tell me, you know why I wear these? It's because when I punch someone, it's going to leave a dent in their head. This one time, I got in a fight with this kid, and I beat him up, and his father came outside and slapped me in the face.
Oh.
And
Oh,
I
no.
just remember immediately thinking, you are going to be in so much trouble when my mother gets home. You have no idea what kind of crazy my mother is. And my mother came home, and my sister told my mother what happened, and my mother grabbed me by the arm and walked me down the street to the apartment where the man lived. And my mother said, you two stand right here. And she walked up to the door. I remember her banging, bang, 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 bang. And I saw the door open, and she didn't even let him get a word out.
As she shouldn't.
Started swinging. And she was beating the crap out of him.
Because don't touch my child.
She beat the mailman up.
All right.
But these are all valid reasons. Like, no man should be touching a child. Period. Like, why is a man slapping a child?
Exactly.
Because I would have went over there and beat you up too.
And then you talk about the mailman.
I don't know why she beat the mailman up now.
Things were complicated at home. I was acting out. You threaten to hit me, I'm gonna hurt you before you hurt me.
She got in a fight with the 2 initial police that showed up. 3 more police showed up. It took all 5 of them to get her out of the house. They ended up just throwing her down the concrete stairs.
Dang, I thought you was on your mama's side. Sound like you make her out to be the bad guy.
Let's keep going. My mother was violent with Ray too. A lot. Most of the fights were about infidelity.
I would find women's phone numbers or find a love letter. Very intimate letters. He would admit it. And I would be like, break up with her. And then he would break up with her. And then
I wish I was married telling my wife to break up with somebody.
Ray got
What?
He visited other gyms, and he went to a lot of competitions, or he went out of town to shows, and there was always people that want to meet him. And what got to
If
me
you
was
don't cut that smile, people that want to
I
meet
knew
you.
how she could be. So I was scared for him.
of course I'm gonna be angry. Nobody wants their husband having affairs on them. No normal person wants their husband to have an affair on them.
I've seen Sally act in a violent manner where she's lost her temper. One was at a bodybuilding contest where she got in a disagreement with a female.
I remember we was all at the contest. Ray wasn't competing, but we was all there. Ray, myself, and a couple other guys was standing to the side talking. All of a sudden, this big commotion.
I was at the Steel Rose competing, and this girl was all up in his face. And I'm like, please get away from my husband. Fuck you, Sally, I'll go wherever I want. I said, you're not going to go around my husband. And I grabbed her.
I know that's
by the
right,
hair and
Sally.
yanked her down to the ground.
Tell him, Sally.
Punching her. I mean, not like a girl, like a guy, punching her. And every time she hit this girl, all she was saying was that, you fuck my husband.
You sound like you
I
lying.
mean, louder than anything.
And I believe she got suspended.
Because it's taking him too long to get his little statements out.
A year because of that.
These people is lying on Sally. I'm sticking beside Sally.
I wanted to make it to where
Even though she shouldn't have killed that man. She should have just left.
See if I can pull you. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Ray, me personally, I don't think that he, how should I say this? I don't think that he loved her, liked her the way that she loved him. So, well, obviously we're seeing another woman that was very serious, is that he saw his future with her.
I met Ray about 3.5 years ago. I met him in the gym. He's getting ready for North America.
Oops, them things be flying.
Ray met Mary Ann at the gym, and I guess they started going to lunch after work, that kind of stuff, and then ended up into some kind of relationship. He loved her.
We really had that kind of true love, you know. It's the kind of stuff in poetry that
Not poetry. Cause what?
Phone number showed up on my phone bill. I memorized it and went across the street and called up at the 7-Eleven. And I said, Mary, you no longer belong to Gold's Gym. And I told her if she shows up at the gym, I'll kick her ass.
You know, she started physically threatening me. I'll kick your ass if you ever show up at the gym.
You're having an affair
With her husband, like, what are y'all expecting her to act like exactly?
Not with Sally, because apparently that was over.
I didn't say I was gonna kill you.
That's gonna beat your ass. And I am, and I stand on that.
DJ, they'd be outside talking for hours, and he wanted out. He wanted to leave the relationship.
Because I'm going to tell Sally that I'm leaving her for Marianne. I said, Ray, you guys have that shotgun at the house. Sally has did some crazy stuff. And I told Ray, no, she'll shoot you. I believe she'll kill you.
I don't like that y'all talk about my girl Sally like this, dude.
I ain't gonna lie though, that probably is what happened. I don't think it's how they said, but I think that he was out and she found out that he was out with her maybe, or cheating on her or something, and she got mad, and that's probably what sparked the fight. Now, I do think that he probably charged at her and was probably, about to fight her and stuff, but I just don't think it should have got to that extent. And if you knew this man was cheating on you, girl, leave him. Because clearly this was going on for a long time.
I'm just saying though, like, why every single person is just like, man, Sally, she freaking picked up a car and threw it at his house before. Like, y'all just really coming at my girl.
No, they are.
Wasn't there.
Was Sally perfect? No, but I don't think she did all that.
Stick beside her by any means.
Wander through your mind and he's gone over 2 hours late, right?
Nah, but
I
like,
think he has a girlfriend. That's what I think.
I mean, did she need to go like eat shit on him? No.
Right.
A lot of those instances, y'all acting like somebody wouldn't have, gotten mad and, like, picture
like,
you.
what was she supposed to be calm?
Yeah, like, picture you if I'm cheating on you or if people flirt with you or whatever and they disrespecting you about your wife or your husband. And then, what, you just gonna be like, okay. Like, no, you gonna be throwing hands.
Girl, they gotta act like that for court purposes.
Of course. Like, you acting like she was walking down the street and somebody, like, I don't know, just sneezed her way and she just over here beating people up. Like, I don't know.
Only thing I don't know about is the mailman, because I don't know why she beat that mailman up like that.
And then you want to know something else too that I think is cap. If you was going around beating up all these people like that, how come Sally won't book for all this stuff? Like, you really think a lot of these people, if I don't know.
Yeah, won't press no charges.
Like, nobody at all was pressing charges on this woman.
Exactly.
Okay, just saying. So,
I'm getting fed up with this. I'm getting beat and he's the one fooling around and it's not making sense.
That sure don't make no sense, Sally. It don't make no sense why you ain't leave either. But
And what she ended up doing is she dried up all the old stuff that's between them and just hurl it at him and just get in this frenzy rage, you know.
I was in the bathroom putting on makeup to go see if he was at McCabe's. I wasn't stalking him. I wasn't going there to get into an argument with him. I was going to McCabe's to be with my husband, who I'm married to. He's not married to Mary Myers. He's married to me. That's my expectation of a marriage. Spend Valentine's Day with your husband, not your whore. Not your slut. She knew he was married to me.
exactly.
When was the last time that you saw Ray before the day of his death?
dude, justifying him cheating. Yeah, he was ready to leave.
The day before.
Well, he should have left.
So that evening on the phone.
The 14th?
Yeah, I talked to him that evening on the phone.
And then how could his
I
ass
believe
afford to
he
leave?
first
He over here
went to
bodybuilding and popping
house that evening.
supplements and shit. Like,
Called me.
that makes no sense.
Says I'm gonna go to my house. Can you meet me there? I went to his house. He wasn't there yet.
I went there and I waited for him.
What time was that?
I got there about 9:15.
I knew something wasn't right. Talking to Sally, she was acting really funny. And I was talking to my wife on the phone. And I said, let me get off the phone to him and get something to eat. Sally, she stands in front of the door. You need to stay here. And I said, Sally, why do I have to stay here? I'll be right back. She obviously knew that Ray was going to be home any minute. I believe Sally always wanted me there sometimes because when I was around, it was more calm in the house. I said, I promise you, Sal, I'll be back. I'm going. She says, okay, you're coming right back. And I said, I'm coming right back. So, I don't know, by the time I went and got my food, there was a helicopter, there was cops. I didn't know what was going on, so I get out of my car.
Is this Sally's friend or his friend?
His friend.
I see Sally talking to the cops, and I see the kids, they look terrified.
Oh, him.
But I don't know. It was just so unreal. I kind of blame myself at first because I didn't stay. Maybe nothing would have happened. I didn't know, so I was kind of back and forth blaming myself for not staying. They let me in the house to go get things out of there, and I can see where the material from his body it was all over the ceiling, all over the floor, all over the walls. Well, and then I guess he turned.
Blood, sir.
She shot him in the face.
Oh, probably his brains and everything. Because it's a shotgun. You know, shotguns make splatters.
See his muscle? See how thick he is?
I think Sally wanted Ray to be there 100% as she was for him. She had an obsession and didn't want to let it go.
He was breaking up with her, and he was having an affair with another woman. To me, this was a premeditated murder.
When Sally and I discussed her relationship with Ray, it was clear that he was the be-all, end-all of her life. She was absolutely 100% devoted to him. And then even if he whacked her around a bit, she may have deserved it. And I've learned that that's one of the beliefs that battered women develop over time.
Even if he was hurting.
We'll wait till that one dries a little bit more.
I still loved him. I wished he wouldn't hurt me. I wished I could have got him to love me enough not to hurt me. I never expected love from anybody. I had a tough upbringing. I've always been put in situations where I've had to defend myself. I was born in Allentown, Pennsylvania in 1960. My neighborhood was a mixture of Puerto Rican families, white families, black families.
She caught my eye immediately. She was very different from all the other girls. She was fearless and filled with energy and life. My name is Patricia Kentz, and I'm a childhood friend of Sally's. I was a tomboy, so I think we had that in common. The boys used to chase
What you talking about, girl?
and she would protect me. She'd beat him down with her purse. And we became best friends.
I had moved to a different school, and we were the first black family to live in that neighborhood. The racism was very subtle.
Okay.
There were a number of girls in the neighborhood who didn't play with me because they were too busy, their mothers would say. Sally was never like that, though. I mean, Sally didn't care what you looked like. She just wanted to know you and to have fun. Sally never spoke about abuse in the home. She just didn't. The only thing that she would ever mention throughout our relationship together was that her father, Dempsey, kicked her mother in the stomach when her mother was 8 months pregnant with Sally.
Okay.
And I just, like, as a kid, I mean, I think she told me that in 4th grade. And as a kid, I don't think I understood really the impact of that and the impact of knowing that when you're 8, 9, 10 years old.
My biological father was Richard Dale Dempsey. He was an alcoholic, and he was very, very abusive to my mom. My mom remarried when I was 3. Then she and my stepdad had 2 children together, Judy and Jill.
I don't think that her stepfather really wanted the Dempsey children. She was not a favorite child in that family.
When my stepsisters were born, it was made clear that they were his kids and we weren't. They got new clothes and I got hand
They're not
downs.
stepsisters.
They got scolded.
That is step. Well, half.
Yeah.
Not step, but half. Yeah.
Brush. He told me to wear a longer dress not to let anybody see the black and blue marks. I always felt like I needed to gain their approval somehow. And that's how I became an athlete, to get their approval. After school, I went to practice until 6 o'clock at night. Whenever I was in my season of a sport, I could go swim or dive or run.
Sally was an excellent athlete, and she always wanted to be better. She was always willing to challenge stereotypical roles girls are supposed to have.
Because in Title IX, I was able to show up at the cross-country practice and ask, can I join the team? Title IX states that women have equal opportunity to compete in sports just like the boys do.
She used to train with the boys, and you'd see this whole line of guys, and there's Sally, like, toward the front.
The first year that I ran, I qualified for the state meet. I was the only girl on the cross-country team. None of the boys qualified for the state meet.
Because they suck.
I was happy to run. I run all over Allentown. I would ask my dad, can I go to Debbie's house? And then when I got to the corner, I would make a quick right and run all the way.
I don't know what my phone got going on, but it do not want to stay up.
My boyfriend in 9th grade was black.
Ooh.
I was dating him for about 9 months. My family didn't know about him.
The relationship between Sally and Victor was a secret.
Like that.
At some point, her parents found out, I don't know how.
My mom comes home from work.
Girl, I don't know.
I think this is why I have issues with bright lights getting turned on. The bright light got turned on. They come stomping up the stairs.
It's this part that don't stay up.
You're dating a nigger. And they spit on me. Called me a nigger lover.
Oh, here we
Yeah,
go.
you're gonna be grounded
Here we
for the whole
go.
summer.
I was like, what is
That's
it
just the
doing?
way it was. That's how they were brought up. They were brought up to be prejudiced.
Scoot back a little bit.
The people I hung out with were black. They were working out with me or running with me or being my friend.
I think Sally had an enormous amount of confidence in herself athletically. She was good at everything she did, but she was so gifted as a diver.
I liked diving because springing on the boards, I felt free. I could do a full twisting 1.5. I could do a back 1.5 in the pike position.
Okay,
When
Sally.
you go underwater, you can't hear anything, but like when you're coming closer to the top of the water, you can hear everybody cheering. It's exhilarating.
In high school, Sally was the star. She had such elegance about her. She could have gone onto an Olympic level, but you had to have money. And you know, we were working class people. I mean, we didn't have that.
I graduated from high school. I went to East Stroudsburg State College. I wanted to be a gym teacher. College was going really well. I had 3.5 years under my belt. I was a senior. I had one more semester left. And I ran out of money. And I asked my parents if they could help me pay. And they said no. So I had to quit college. Give
That
up my
sucks.
dream. I can't live at home. So I had no choice but to go in the Marine Corps.
She should have went back once she went in the Marines, right?
Mm-hmm.
My brother was a Marine. My Uncle Ralph was a Marine. So I was surrounded by Marines.
304?
Huh?
304.
You know, to just
304.
the Marines
What's the number?
takes a lot of guts.
307.
But I think she liked how rigorous it was. She liked the challenge of it all.
Well, the Marines are very macho men. And here you have this little woman that doesn't look like much. Well, nobody knows that I can do 60 pull-ups. So I guess I caused a few Marines to feel inferior.
I love to hear interviews from her previous drill
I met
sergeants and
Tony
stuff.
on June 10th in 1982. I remember seeing this guy standing there and he looked kind of angry. So I was like, I'm going to flirt with him a little, make him like me. The next day, Tony calls me. We started dating. I just fell in love with the man. I was happy
That must be
when I
who
found out I
her
was married.
son is by.
And I told Tony he was happy, and he asked me to marry him. So we got married. Shantina was this pretty little girl with this golden blonde curly hair. She inherited my eyes. Tony didn't think Shantina was his. I think until I got pregnant with John and gave birth to John, and he looked like her twin.
So neither one of
In the
them.
beginning, Tony was good to me. Then as soon as I got married to him, things changed. He became very jealous and abusive. I had to.
This girl was always getting abused by
Be
people.
prepared to get hit for any real reason. Looking back, that was normal to me. I didn't think of it. I just thought that's how it was. I thought everybody got beat on.
No, ma'am.
The neighbors knew.
We fight back.
They heard him touching me or throwing me down the stairs or something. They heard it. They would call the MPs. And they would come and tell me to leave and let him calm down. So then I started going to counseling. And then I'm seeing this isn't right. And then the orders came that I was being transferred across the country. And I filed for separation. I filed for divorce.
Well, that's what you should have did with Ray.
I got custody of the kids, and I'm driving to California, to Camp Pendleton. I'm leaving my husband, and I'm leaving that life behind. The divorce was final on the 25th of May, 1987, and I met Ray on the 6th of June. I was a good wife to Ray. I loved him.
She won't single at all. She ain't waste no time.
That night, I wasn't the best wife I could be. I was the worst wife there ever was. I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't want to die. I have kids. I have children. If he would have killed me, he would have killed them.
So how are you feeling heading into trial?
I believed in the system, and I believed I was going to be given a fair trial. It became a nightmare.
Especially because your wife, you thought that.
I thought she would have got off, and if anything.
That's why it honestly just depends on the luck of the draw, you know. There's plenty of stories that this has happened and the woman got off, or, you know, or people, you know, blatantly did it. Got off. Whatever. Like, it just depends. Really.
OJ. We know you did it.
Girl, just barely get out of his grasp, and he'll grab me and pull me down. And it just repeats again.
OJ is prime example of what money does for you, though.
The fate of Sally McNeil, female bodybuilder accused of killing her husband, another bodybuilder, on Valentine's Day last year.
Seasoned prosecutors proud 10 eyes were drawn. Good lawyers want the case to be poignant. So why not start the trial on Valentine's Day?
Dramatic.
Wait,
they started the trial on Valentine's Day.
Want the case to be poignant. So why not start the trial on Valentine's Day?
That's funny. Not funny, but definitely comical.
If I do a good opening statement, I've already persuaded the jury.
She is a bully. She is a thug. And that's hard to say when you're talking about a woman.
Not they called her a thug. They called her a thug.
Bridge the gap of gender and become somebody who is physical, confrontational.
You get a little muscle, you become a thug.
A violent person, and a violent person can't be a battered woman.
That is not true.
Sally was a battered woman. The law recognizes that if you have the right to defend yourself against imminent harm, possible death, you have a right to use force to remove that threat. And it could be deadly force.
The DA said that in a jealous rage that I killed Ray. It wasn't a jealous rage, it was fear. I'm not a sophisticated woman. I'm not diabolical. I don't have bad intentions. I have good intentions to be the best mother I can to my children. My kids were back in Pennsylvania. I'm separated from them, and I'm by myself, living in a studio room, hoping that I'm found innocent.
Premeditated first-degree murder or self-defense? Did she use her strength to defend herself or to murder her husband? Is she a strong woman or a victim?
Diane Diamond has the story of the puffed-up princess who was charged with killing Mr. California.
Bodybuilder Sally McNeil may be only 5'3", but Sally
Well, she's
is
tiny.
no weakling. I'm Diane Diamond, and
She's
I
short.
am the voice you hear on hard copy back in 1995, reporting on the Sally McNeil murder trial. I think the key story point in the Sally McNeil case was Sally McNeil. She was an attractive blonde. It was this subculture that people didn't know much about, the bodybuilding community. And even though domestic abuse was the crux of her defense, that's not what attracted us to the Sally McNeil story. It was her. It was that
brawny bride. It was that pumped up princess. It was the ability for us to write lines like, instead of pumping iron, she was pumping bullets into her husband.
That is not funny.
I'm embarrassed to tell you that, but that's the way it was back then. That is what got the audience to come in and stay.
See these biceps? I can curl 120 pounds for 10 reps. So just think what I can do to your neck.
Sally had the misfortune of coming in an era of reporting on angry women. Amy Fisher, who shot her married lover's wife in the head. And then, of course, we had the Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan scandal. Then there was Lorena Bobbitt.
Oh yeah, Lorena Bobbitt go down in history.
Manhood claimed years and years of abuse by her husband. These are not the typical women who
Girl,
stayed
she
in their
cut that man
place back in
pee-pee
the
off.
90s. Quiet housewives with children.
Girl, they got her in songs. I think Lil Wayne put her in a song.
Like Sally McNeil, and we couldn't look away.
There was a lot of press, there was a lot of media. And then them talking about my mom. It was devastating, it was depressing. Because we were always known for good things, you know, for bodybuilding and stuff like that. So it was hard to see all the negative stuff.
Sally McNeil is a threat to public safety, a powerful, violent woman who is better off behind bars.
My lawyer told me not to talk to the media, and I should have. I should have been talking to them because nobody knew how much he abused me.
Now, this woman with a body of steel has been reduced to a weak and weeping emotional wreck.
It would be on the news. My grandparents would shield us away from it. It would upset me when I was a kid because I would want to watch it, despite the fact that they were saying bad things about my mother on TV. And despite the fact that they would say things like a former Marine or killer Marine Sally or stuff like that, because I would get to see pictures of my mother. And I missed her so much.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my brother, we did move to Pennsylvania with my mom's mom. She was very loving. Sometimes reporters called, and I remember my grandmother saying, the kids don't need to be part of this. They need to have a good life.
Which is true.
The defendant backed up, loaded another round. When you start out a homicide prosecution, really you take the role of instructor. You're instructing the jury on why this person is guilty. And the first part of my case was the forensics. Sally McNeil initially claimed that Ray had been beating her up, but the forensics just didn't spell out somebody who was in the middle of a confrontation. Looking at the autopsy, Ray McNeil had been shot twice. He was shot with a slug from a shotgun at approximately 8 feet. It went in perpendicular to his body. He fell and was shot again in the face. It was the first shot that actually killed him, but it took a while. He bled out in his abdominal cavity and his chest cavity. One of the critical facts of the investigation was the issue of the reload.
And then right after you shot him,
He came after me. He came after me.
okay, where's the second
It was in
shell?
my hand. It was holding it in my hand, the hand that I was pulling the trigger. So then when you had to reload, you just put it right in.
Sally McNeil's initial statement to law enforcement was that after she shot Ray by the kitchen, he came at her, she
Put that one
reloads
down.
and turns around and shoots him immediately while he's standing up. If she did that, the expended shotgun shell from the first shot would be in the living room. The shotgun shell from the first shot is in the back bedroom, where the ammo is. So what happened was she went to the back bedroom, got another shell, and had to load it. To load that shell back into the gun, she needed to release the other shell from the firearm. It landed in the bedroom. She put the second round in and went out to the living room while Ray is down and died. He was shot in the face while he was on the ground. To prove that,
Yeah,
there
she
was
did
a
too
light
much.
in the living room on the end of a table. The blood spatter was underneath the lampshade. That meant that Ray had to be down when the shotgun shell hit his face and the blood flew up. If he was standing up when he was shot, the blood would be on the outside of the lampshade, spraying down and out.
The defendant shot an unarmed man, and then she reloaded and shot him again.
The state said that empty shell in the bedroom was proof that she had premeditatedly gone back and gotten a second bullet to really do in Ray. It was cold-blooded first-degree murder.
You're sitting at counsel table listening to the prosecution from their case. You can see the juror in front of your eyes. You can watch their expression. It changed with the second shot. And I didn't have a forensic expert that would counter that. I really did think that the best defense strategy was battered woman syndrome.
My expertise is crime and justice, so I have long known about domestic abuse and its devastating long-term effects. But in the 90s, I think we were just waking up to it. Suddenly there was this thing called battered women syndrome, and psychologists started appearing on television talking about it.
It is a slow deterioration of the victim.
And of course, we had gone through the O.J. Simpson case, which talked about that the defendant beat her, humiliated her, and controlled her.
I didn't know what battered woman syndrome was. I think I may have heard it during the O.J. Simpson trial, but I didn't associate myself with that. I was in denial that I was a battered woman. And I've learned to, suppress things and block them out.
I was retained by the defense attorney to conduct a full psychological evaluation of Sally McNeil. I had evaluated probably over 500 battered women at that point in my career.
He wasn't punching me in the head or throwing me, he was choking me. A lot of times I would run and dive on the bed. He'd come running after me and dive on top of me and start choking me.
She's small. I was surprised at how small she was. Short.
It was, just really...
Yeah, 5'3" is short.
She was sad.
Struggling.
She had a hard time talking about some of the issues, particularly sexual abuse. Sally is like other battered women who've been battered before. Repeated abuse can often cause post-traumatic stress disorder. Victims of domestic violence very often show post-traumatic stress disorder, and in fact, what we know now that we didn't know at the time was that the brain scans of domestic violence victims who are in some of these highly, highly dangerous situations mirror the brain scans of prisoners of war.
Battered woman syndrome is a shoot-off. It comes from PTSD. I actually had PTSD.
You can wash your hands.
From Ray. I was not mentally able to...
The kittens are in there.
I was just as sick as he was.
She had been isolated. She had, endured broken bones. She had had strangulation incidences. And I think that dictates all the decisions that a victim is going to make in that situation.
I killed him because I was protecting myself. He was trying to kill me.
Girl, you killed him because he was cheating.
Live or die.
Let's just be honest.
To me, it seemed like he came after me. To me, and I'm not even going to say seen, he did come after me. And what I remember, it seemed like it was going in slow motion, and we were going around. And I was just...
Hey, y'all.
I was running. I ran away.
Hey, girl,
from
I
him
just
and
stopped by
shot him.
to say hi. I'm on my way to pick up my daughter
When
from
he was
school and then go
choking me,
back to work.
Like when he hit me, and like I don't remember.
Hey, you
everything.
guys.
If I don't get everything right in order, it doesn't mean I'm lying. This happened 26 years ago. I don't remember everything.
My phone is
quite that
acting
well.
so
I didn't plan this.
retarded.
If I had planned this,
It won't
I would
stay
have never
up.
done a day in prison. This man was choking me, had been choking me for 8 years, so I'm sure I wasn't quite right. This man beat me down so bad, I didn't think I could get away.
I did the evaluation. I believe I spent about 9 hours interviewing her. and I testified as an expert in the trial.
I thought an expert like Nancy Kaiser Boyd would help you understand why Sally behaved in the way she behaved, why she thought she needed that degree of force to eliminate the threat.
In testifying for Sally, I do recall the prosecutor making a lot of objections. The prosecution made battered women seem almost silly. For example, asked questions like, isn't it true that some battered women leave and some battered women don't?
Ooh.
Is it true that some battered women go to the hospital and some battered women don't go to the hospital? And in reality, there is no one way battered women react. But the reality is anyone can become a battered woman. All it takes is being in a relationship with someone stronger and more willing to engage in.
What colors did they have for the marble? The dark. I'm gonna use a dark brown and probably a white.
Yeah, it's dark
Sleeping with
brown.
her husband and things like that. Like, the victims are not perfect people. We expect them to be
Even this
perfect.
one
We
would look
want them
cute.
to
I
be
can't remember
perfect.
which one.
And then when they're not,
I think it was
we
this
blame
one.
them for it.
The defendant
No, we can go
said
darker. It don't matter to me.
She,
You want it
she's
dark,
one of
dark
those
brown,
people that
or
were prosecuted and calling her
which is gonna be against this one? Wait, or is it this one?
Excuse.
Girl, I can't remember
Because
which one
we
is it.
did this one.
She said that Sally's a battered woman.
I think it was this one.
There's
It's this one.
another possibility too, and that is Sally McNeil is a battered woman, and Ray was a battered.
You want it real
but there's
dark?
no
Okay.
imminent threat.
With some white.
As much of a jerk as Ray McNeil was at times, he didn't love her the way she wanted him to love her. It's, if I can't have you, nobody else will.
The moment when I became hip to how the trial was going was the parade of Ray's friends coming in and testifying against me.
The discipline.
Girl, you know the whole music's gonna have his back.
And they asked me would I testify in the trial. And I said yes. When Ray and I met before his death, he was telling me that he was leaving Sally. He was gonna break up with her, pack up and leave, and then go and live this happy life with Marianne.
He fell in love with me. Now, he had had previous infidelities before then as well. I don't think he was ever happy in that marriage.
There was a woman's phone number on the phone bill the one time. He lied about it, and I called it, and it turned out to be this one woman that would work out at the gym. I called her and told her, I said, I'm going to kick your ass if you fool around with my husband.
I think Sally knew that Ray was leaving. She knew that on Valentine's Day, instead of him being with her, he was out with somebody else. And I knew she wasn't just going to stand by and let him leave like that.
The state prosecutor brought in several witnesses to testify about Sally, about her demeanor. And to a person, she was described as being aggressive, quick to temper.
Not just against Ray McNeil, but against neighbors, babysitters, anybody who crosses Sally McNeil is
The defense tried to counter this testimony with character witnesses of their own. There was
just a
one
loose
girlfriend
cannon,
who
huh?
came
No, for
forward and
real.
testified that she'd seen bruises on Sally.
I saw her broken arms, I saw her broken nose. She did not tell anyone else about the abuse. The only reason she talked to me about it was because I saw it and I questioned her about it. So as a trial, there's nobody to put on the stand but me.
Hers was a pretty good testimony. But that was only one person really talking on my side.
I was really surprised when, it's shocking anyway when the incident happened, but just to know the background of it and to know how much trouble she had had with him was
But
really,
that's what,
it was devastating.
that's
I wish
what's like
that
a
she had
double-edged sword when, people
She
are
must-
going through their struggles, because, who are you to say if you would have opened up or what somebody else would do? But at the same time, on a legal standpoint, that paper trail,
Yeah.
you feel me? Like,
Would
that
have
paper
helped you.
trail is what could potentially save you. It's not just enough to say, I'm a battered woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
In a lot of cases.
Well, it said that she had one thing where she had actually went to the hospital and it was documented and everything. That's all I was like, y'all know she was getting beat up.
Right.
At one point anyway.
But also with her witnesses too, because here come all his homies.
Yeah,
You
having
know
his
what I
back.
mean? And then it's like,
And
well,
she only got
hers, like,
one.
only one, and then on top
And
of
isn't
it,
it her mom or somebody? I think it was her
Tim's
mom.
that friend that she confided into. But yeah, that's
Been ashamed. I think that that's what it was. I think that she didn't want people to know.
Which is normal.
And she's just ashamed.
exactly. That's why.
Why aren't we discussing
That's why the
the
law
physical
can.
element of
When
the
you
shooting?
genuinely
McNeil's
are a
attorney
victim,
said she
that's
was
why it
sexually
sucks.
abused,
You
and
know.
she finally struck
They
back.
say that a lot about
During the course
rape
of trial,
victims too. They
it
don't
was
come
important to get information from
forward
witnesses who
right
were
away
present during
because
the
they're
event. Now, they
embarrassed
may not
or
have
whatever.
But you know what sucks about that though?
Girl, why did I do that?
What you mean?
Girl, I didn't put the thing on without painting the nail.
Oh, but you know what sucks about that though is that unfortunately unless you had a video recording of rape, like full on proof like that, the only other way is the rape test kit. And,
right.
And there's no way, like, let's say you finally want to come forward 2 years later. There's no way to get 2 years of DNA from your vagina now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what kind of like, that's what just sucks in general. Cause I mean, you come forward when,
And then it sucks for the men too, because what if they really are lying, and you got to go have that on your rap sheet, and you know, like it's rape is one of those things where unless you go and have it taken care of right then and there, it's kind of like, did they do it? Did they really do it? Like you'll never really know because
we don't have no proof.
We don't got no proof.
See if that's true or not. You know.
All of it, but they may have seen a portion of it. So I needed Shantina in order to describe the interaction between Ray and Sally when Ray got home.
The day I testified, I think I was 12 years old. I remember him asking me about what did I hear, and I told him that my dad was choking my mom, and I remember explaining the sounds because I knew. And he said, well, how did you know your dad was choking your mom? And I said, because whenever he chokes her out, she makes these sounds. And I remember feeling embarrassed, but I had to say it because they weren't asking a lot of questions. And
had to make it count.
I said, well, when my dad does choke my mom, these are the sounds she makes. Because I've seen him choke her, I've heard him choke her, I've banged on the door to try to get him off of her.
Shantina became emotional during both direct and cross-examination, and I'm asked that the examination be terminated. And the judge was sympathetic to the child and really stopped the examination.
I felt like my mom's lawyer didn't do enough questioning me because I felt like I was just in and out. And I wanted to tell my mom's story. I wanted to tell everybody what happened. And I just felt like they were just asking all the wrong questions. They weren't asking about what my mom.
She must have had a little public defender.
Feelings and mentality.
Oh yeah.
It made sense for them to.
Cause I'm public defenders, baby.
Because I was younger.
You going to jail? Cause all they do is side with the state. Like they agree on this stuff behind closed doors anyway.
Yeah, and the state pays them. You're not paying them.
Exactly.
The pure hell that went on in that house.
Sally had just witnessed her daughter testifying. Now, Sally decided that she needed to testify, and I tried to talk her out of it.
Well, you're the lawyer. You could have said no.
I represented Sally. I had tried well over 100 criminal jury trials. I could count on one hand how many times defendants had testified in any of my trials. And I can recall only 2 times that I thought it wouldn't hurt them. And Sally McNeil was not one of those 2.
I wanted to tell my side of the story and tell how the DA was not looking for the truth. He wanted to win at all cost. I don't think My lawyer wanted me to testify, but I ended up testifying, and I think that was the worst thing I could have done.
Well, he told you not to.
She got up on the stand and took the oath to tell the truth, and then she just got rigid, turned into a little Marine who's going to show no emotion whatsoever.
Lord.
Answered my questions, yes, sir, no, sir. I was thinking to myself, this isn't going well. This is horrible.
I knew when she was going to take the stand that I would dismantle her. And so that phase of cross-examination is just getting her to concede what you know she's going to concede to. For instance, you obtained a shotgun. Yes or no? You know how to shoot a shotgun. Yes or no? You loaded a shotgun. Yes or no?
No.
After you loaded the shotgun, you needed
About the
to
apples.
target the weapon. Yes or no?
Yeah, she was dumb to take the stand.
You just take it incrementally. I put the gun in her hands, figuratively. I had her aim the weapon at Ray McNeil, figuratively. I had her shoot Ray McNeil in front of the jury, figuratively. And then I had her reload and shoot Ray again.
Because what sucks
That
about
DA
getting
is booming. She's a liar. She was never abused. She's using a battered woman as an excuse to get away with murder. I'm a battered woman, so I'm going to shut down and I'm going to get scared and I'm not going to testify right. And he knew this. That was awful.
Before Sally McNeil testified, there had been videotapes.
Oh, I was just going to say this right quick. And what sucks when you testify is that you're not testifying and you're going to say all the stuff you want to say. You're going to have to answer the questions they want you to answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like people think that they could just, you know, sit there and tell the jury a bedtime story. It's like, no, they're going to be asking you their questions.
Exactly.
And depending on what questions and how they ask it, it's going to back you into a corner, or it could very well go in your favor. But that's why testifying sucks. Because it's not like you get to choose what you say and, you know, and portray yourself the way you want people to see it. Because depending on how I ask you a question, that can incriminate you, even though you really are, like, you know,
telling the truth.
Telling the truth.
Or is really how it happened.
Mm-hmm. And they know that. That's why when people brag about they conviction rates and prosecutors and stuff, that's exactly why they brag so hard. Because they know it's like a mental game you gotta
Girl,
play.
And they knew as soon as she went on stage, it was about to tear her up.
Mm-hmm.
But that was her mistake because her lawyer, don't put that on. Her lawyer told her not to go on
the stand.
The stand, and she did anyway. Dummy.
Like,
Listen to your lawyer.
That was the worst idea I could.
Like, duh. This is a pretty color.
Yeah. I'm glad I went with that.
And it covers up everything underneath, so it worked. Even with one coat.
There had been physical items that the judge excluded from evidence, saying they were not significant to this case. So these pieces of evidence aren't coming in unless the defense opens the door for them. And her testimony did exactly that. During the cross-examination, the prosecutor said, "You're known by the name of Killer Sally McNeil, isn't that true?"
I'm the best wrestler. If you'd be interested in wrestling me, I can be reached at the end of the video.
And she denied it. And in her mind, I can see why she denied it, because no, I'm not known by that.
No, I was acting. When I made these wrestling videos, I was acting.
Yeah, she was.
Sally is so literal. It wasn't a name to her. It was a character. If you had asked her, have you ever portrayed a character named Killer Sally McNeil, she would have said yes.
As she should.
That's not the way he phrased it, and that's not the way she answered it.
I would have said no too, because I know where you're going with that.
Was now available for the prosecutor to use. The item was a poster to promote her video wrestling business. In it, she's posing with the murder weapon and titled killer Sally McNeil. By the title on the poster, she's telling you what she's going to do with that murder weapon. She's a killer.
Really?
It was devastating. It was absolutely devastating.
So the court is able, see, this is why if your lawyer's good, you know what I mean? Because you mean to tell me this is a fictional character.
Exactly.
So what? If
her lawyer ain't give a damn. For her lawyer to even let her go on stand, like he ain't put up no big argument to make her not do that, because if he did, she would have not done that.
Like, you mean to tell me because I played Michael Myers that, and then for whatever reason I did get mixed up in a murder trial, because I played Michael Myers prior, that meant that was a foreshadow to me.
Exactly. A murderer.
Like, they don't, I mean, that's why it depends on who taking the case, what judge allows that type of BS. Because that don't, to me as a judge, that wouldn't even make sense. You trying to make a point out of that. That's a fictional character.
Yeah, I think it was damaging that the DA showed that poster. I wasn't advocating violence.
I appreciate you actually painting the sides.
To promote
you know what I mean?
Painting the sides?
Yeah, because when, I don't know if you've ever gotten a set done by somebody where they'll just paint your nail and then it's like, because of how curved the nail may be on the side, they don't get the side.
People say that about acrylic too.
Like,
when people get acrylic, sometimes their sides don't be covered or something.
Yeah, like,
I've heard people say that.
So I appreciate that. Like,
you're welcome.
Because I guess for them, if they're just painting your nail face value like this, if they don't rotate it the full view, it's like, oh snap, I did miss.
Right.
You know, whatever. But yeah, girl, just a.
You're welcome.
Just an appreciation post.
With the dissociative state during the cross-examination, I was like there but not. And I was thinking to myself, everything we've worked on is gone. And I actually thought, honestly, that he was going to get a first-degree murder conviction after that.
She must have got a
Closing
second.
arguments wrapped up today in the murder trial of bodybuilder Sally McNeil. Today in court, McNeil kept quiet and didn't say much to anyone. Prosecutor Daniel Goldstein described Sally McNeil as a dangerous woman who has a lot of pent-up anger.
In fact, Sally McNeil is a violent, aggressive individual.
There's no greater experience than standing up in a closing argument and the world is your oyster, right? Just like I like this interview. There's nothing you can say that will make me not love it.
Calling
He knew he
McNeil
won.
a person who can claim the battered woman syndrome is like calling hockey a non-contact sport.
Say cheese. She's coming to get me.
I think in society now and back in 1996, we have a tendency to look at women and we don't believe that they can be violent. We look at men, we know men can be violent.
That is true, though.
But indeed, women can be violent too. And
I feel like they were
women
both
can
violent.
harbor murderous intent, and women can be abusive. It was no longer about gender; it was about violence.
He said that I wasn't a real woman. Just because I'm a bodybuilder and just because I'm a Marine doesn't mean I'm not a real woman. He made me out to be this monster.
Jury members are expected to begin deliberations tomorrow morning. If convicted of first-degree murder, she can get 35 years to life, or the jury could find her guilty of lesser charges like voluntary manslaughter, second-degree murder, or find her innocent, and she could walk.
The jury's deliberating.
I want to know what her
excused
sentence
from
was.
the courtroom.
Because she clearly still in
I
jail.
went to the train station, take the train home. So I go to work out because I needed an outlet.
I think she got life.
I'm just waiting on the verdict, hoping that I'm found innocent. At the most, voluntary manslaughter.
After just 3 days of deliberation, the jury in the Sally McNeil murder trial has reached a verdict.
The North County bodybuilder has been free on bail since she shot her husband more than a year ago. Phoebe Chong-Chua joins us now with the verdict. Phoebe.
All right, be careful and put it under.
In court today, awaiting a fateful outcome.
We, the jury, conduct a federal cause, find independent, Sally Marie McNeil not guilty of the crime of first-degree violation of Penal Code Section 187. We, the jury, conduct a federal cause, find independent, Sally Marie McNeil guilty of the crime of second-degree murder.
Sally McNeil was guilty of second-degree murder. All I can remember, it was like a womp womp. You know, the room closed in on me.
Sally McNeil was found guilty of second-degree murder. Second-degree murder is the intent to kill someone unlawfully. There is no reasonable provocation for the killing. There is no excuse and no justification.
Jurors who gathered outside the courthouse did
I get it.
shooting
I
was
mean,
in
I get
self-defense.
why.
And that's what we agreed on as a jury, that there was no imminent danger. She just decided that she was going to end his life.
She went into the bedroom and got a gun and came out and pointed it at him and shot him. And then to make sure she shot him again.
Yeah. She shouldn't have shot him twice. That's what made it look even worse.
I was gonna get taken away from my kids and never see them again. It's like I was killed anyway. They lost their mother anyway.
How long you get?
I know. I want to know how many years she got.
So that meant to me, I was never getting my mom back. It was hard. It was, a child needs their parents.
Yeah.
I had a feeling she was gonna go to prison because she took the second shot. I never in a million years would have imagined she would do as long as she did.
I was devastated. I didn't understand. Not that she didn't get off, but that she got the kind of time that she got. You know, like, and that she could feasibly spend the rest of her life in jail.
So what she get, man?
I know.
I was talking to him. I just miss him, period.
Did we miss this?
Wow.
Like, did they say it?
No, they ain't say it. They'll probably show it at the end.
Just tragic.
We loved everybody in that family, including Sally. We saw both sides of the story, so, you know, we really felt that they just should have just split apart.
They should have.
That was toxic.
I arrived at Valley State Prison for Women on the 1st of May, 1996. I'm in California. I'm in Chowchilla, the armpit of
1996.
the USA. My children are on the other side of the country, 3,300 miles away. Being in prison has taught me that
Over 20
life
years.
goes on while you're stuck in prison. You can't expect a lot from your family. You can't make big demands because they have a life to live out there. My mom used to bring the children out once a year in July when they were on vacation from school. Those annual visits meant the world to me.
It was really hard. It was hard leaving, you know.
And it may not have been a right decision, but we ended up not going anymore. Because I had to explain to friends that I was going to California to see my mom in prison. And I letting people know that my mom was in prison.
I know.
Because then you have to explain everything in your life and while you're living with your grandparents.
You ain't gotta explain nothing to
And it's
nobody.
just easier for me to tell them that I lost both of my parents on Valentine's Day. Nobody ever asked questions.
None of your damn business while I'm going.
I would have
Family
still.
vacation.
I was about to say I would still been visiting my mama.
Graduation. I
Just because
missed
of
John
embarrassment,
when he
you
took
stop
third place
visiting
in
your
the
mama?
state wrestling
Damn.
meet in California. Then I missed him graduating high school and going to his prom. All those things that I've missed.
When I joined the military, my mother and I would correspond. But I reached a point when I had a child. I wrote my mother a letter saying that she didn't have my sister and I in mind when she pulled the trigger.
She didn't.
And then I didn't speak to my mother for a while she was in jail. And I wish I would have been there more for my mother.
That is true,
I
though.
just kept hoping after she was sentenced that, you know, maybe they'll let her do 5 years and they'll let her out. Maybe they'll let her do 10 years and they'll let her out. And then I just stopped hoping. I just didn't think they were ever going to let her out.
I've gone through 5 parole board hearings since 2011. The first time, I got denied because they said, you are not a battered woman. So, the last time I went to the parole board, I had to say it was my intention to kill my husband. Like as though he never abused me or beat me or broke my bones or choked me.
Yeah, they do make you do that to get out. They be wanting you basically to admit guilt, even if, like, even if you weren't guilty.
I'm sure
No,
you'll
like
interview her.
that.
I'm sure she's going to say she didn't do anything wrong. I'm sure that she believes that Ray needed to die. He didn't. She was justly convicted. And after that, I'm out of the show.
Do I think in this present day, if I were a juror, would I convict her of second-degree murder? No. I think it's unfortunate that it happened in 1995.
I actually don't think Sally's sentence would be any different today. I
Me
see
either.
women 25, 30 years later after Sally's case who are getting equally long sentences. We're better now at protecting victims than we used to be, but there's a lot more we could do.
I just feel badly that we, the media, me included, didn't delve more into who was Sally McNeil. Who was she really, past the greased up muscles and the steroids? We didn't do that then. If I could meet her, I might apologize to her for that.
Really?
Yeah.
What, we got her right here? Oh, wow.
Oh, so she got, damn. Well, she's out. She's been out 2 years. Let me see.
Oh. I don't know if I did this on that one.
It was probably the polish.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, yes, girl. Eat it.
Oh
All right,
God,
go
I
ahead.
haven't had that in 25 years.
Let me see. It's fine. I'll just put some foils over it and it'll be fine.
When I first got out, I lived at the VTC. The VTC to stay at the VTC.
Bless you.
I have a job in a warehouse. I can make my own money. Nobody's telling me when to eat or when to sleep. Life is good. Freedom tastes wonderful.
Well, at least she didn't have to spend the rest of, like, her whole life.
The last time I saw my mom was in 2004. She's been in prison for 25 years. So when I was your age, she is my mom. She's a grandmother. You know, I want her to watch her grandchildren. You know, those are the things. She's entitled to everything. Just because she messed up, it doesn't mean that she's a messed up person.
Oh my God!
Hey, where's the bandages and those wraps that I got for Chris Hand?
Look at you! Look at your hair!
They're not in the bathroom.
Look at you. You look good, Jonathan. You're tall. Yeah. You're so tall. Oh, God.
These are prom pictures.
Prom? Who's that cute boy?
These were all school friends.
He's handsome.
After I graduated high school, I joined the military. I deployed with the 1st Cavalry Division to Iraq. I do have PTSD, and it's both from combat, you know, just being over there changes you a little bit. And then from my ex, while I was stationed in Iraq, I was physically abused for 3 years. And my unit didn't know about it. I could never understand why my mom did not leave. But when I found myself in a situation like that, I kind
kind of stayed for the same reasons. I just wanted to be loved, you know. I was repeating that same cycle. I could
Usually
see
how it
captivated
goes.
my mom and dad were for each other in the same scenario that I found myself in. And what I chose to do is like, hey, this is wrong. You're not for me and I'm not for you. We have to get out of this relationship. And I did. I left. And after that, I realized nobody would ever hit me again. Now, I just focus on my son. That's the only man in my life that I need to take care of. There's different pressure points in here.
I dream about seeing my son John. He's living down in Texas. I call him about once or twice a week.
My relationship is really good with my mother right now, but I haven't got a chance to visit her because I've been to drug and alcohol treatment and for treatment for combat PTSD.
They all messed up.
I had 5 combat tours in Afghanistan.
Damn.
I had deployed so much.
5?
And
That's
I
a
fought
lot.
so much that I just mentally couldn't do it no more. I got out and I just fell into drug addiction.
What was I about to do? Oh. I'm like, what am I doing? I keep losing my train of thought.
It's okay.
I can't wait for my kittens to be able to come out the day after. Let me see.
This week, right?
When we get back. Yep.
Look at Chris' new beautiful hand. You know how to stop picking.
Make sure it's not tight, too tight.
No, it's fine. I didn't do it too tight. It's good. If the circulation go off, you lose the hand. It'll be all right. The hand already scratched up, scrounged up. You might as well cut it off while it's good.
Don't say that.
It'll be all right. He got his little thumb out. Look, see? You good to go. Now he can't even remove it. And you can have this on for the next week. So it can heal. You faking.
Definitely faking. He's so dramatic.
Oh.
He ain't crying. He's faking. My son do not cry. It is very rare if you ever see him cry. If you see him cry, something is really wrong.
Oh.
They be climbing in the bathtub now.
They big enough they can do
They, girl, we just put them in the tub yesterday because we were cleaning the bathroom. We didn't want them running around while we were cleaning it, and they hopped up right up out the bathtub. Girl, I said, "Oh, y'all getting so big
growing up so
for y'all
fast.
to do that."
Goodness.
Yes. I said, okay, Mias, because you keep bullying them around. They're going to get big one day. They're going to get you back.
And there's 2 of them, so they can
exactly double team you.
Shoot.
The one I thought was the quiet one, she getting a little feisty.
Oh, the
but
nice
she's
one?
still a cuddly. She's still like a cuddle bug. She climbs on me and she just lets me hold her.
Both of them was got out of their little bed and came to my feet, and one of them was messing with my shoelaces. I had to like make sure I had eyes on them because I didn't want to step on them.
Yes, I stepped on one of them. Well, not hard, but I almost like stepped on one of them before, and I was like, oh my god.
Did they do that little cute meow? No.
Yes.
I didn't mean it, but you are in the way though. So
No, for real. Little self. But yeah, they're getting big. And I love it. They're so cute.
Y'all never had dogs, right?
No, but I like dogs too.
Okay.
I love dogs. Oh, let me see the other one. I think I put it on half. I want to go to this restaurant. It's called Green Yard something. And I heard they got some good food. But Brittany keep telling me to wait until next week till we get back. I'm like, I want it now.
What do they have?
Like, it's kind of like a tavern, but they have everything. They have like, it's literally like an all around type restaurant. Like they have everything: burgers, steaks, seafood, everything.
And
that's my type of place.
And they're here?
It's in Newport News.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's called Green Yard something. I just can't remember the name of it. Like the whole name. I have it written down somewhere.
Yeah, once one of my hands is free, I'm gonna definitely search that.
Yeah, Green Yard something. It will probably pop up if you put Green Yard restaurant or something. It will probably come up and give you like the full name.
Yeah, because we definitely tried kind of like I guess if you want to call it like a coffee type of shop yesterday, and that thing was pretty good.
A coffee shop? Where at? Is it downtown Hampton?
In Williamsburg.
Oh, okay.
And we had tuna tacos. Then we had.
Was it raw or was it cooked?
It was raw. Yeah, those were good. And then their mojitos, it was called like a cactus mojito. That was really good. And then what else? We both got the morning after burger, but I got mine with turkey burger substitute. I wanted to try that. And then he got it with just a regular beef patty. But oh my gosh, that was so good. And then the burger, and then got because I was being real fat, got a blueberry, just a single blueberry pancake on the side.
Oh yeah, she like blueberry pancakes. I don't like no flavor to my pancakes unless it has like strawberry topping on it, maybe with some whipped cream. But other than that, I like plain buttermilk pancakes. You know who has real good pancakes? Food Craft. It's uptown, Yorktown. So good. You never been there for breakfast?
It sounds familiar. I need to. Yeah.
Missing out. You're missing out.
I need to Google. Telling you, we be having like lists of restaurants that we're gonna try next and stuff. So
that's me.
So for seafood boils, who would you suggest?
On this side,
like in general.
Oh, Boyle Bay, across the water, Holland, off Holland Road. That's the one I like. Boyle Bay is the best. Their seasoning, how much they give you, all of that. They have like the best bags.
So how much would it cost for one of us to have a boil, I guess?
Girl, I don't know. I don't know, cause for when we go, we get like everything. So
right.
We be getting we'll get oysters, like an oyster basket. We'll get one of my bags is usually about 40 something, I think. But you know, I add stuff to mine also, so I never really know the exact price of it.
Well, that sounds like that's gonna be me.
Yeah, I add a whole bunch of stuff to my bags.
And I love seafood. So
me too. I
don't just get like a simple, basic one. So.
Let me see this one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you can put that under.
Okay. Cause I wanted to put my hand on top of the little blue paper. Make sure.
The only thing about not encapsulating these is it's gonna be textured a little bit, even after I put the top coat on.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
But it makes it easier for you to get a fill instead of you having to do a full whole set all over again. Because I can just drill it off. Let me see how this look. Do we like this? Look, I'm like, do we like this?
Yeah, do it on one side though.
Only on this side?
Yeah.
Not the other side?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, it's cute.
Oh.
I'm gonna do it on this one.
And for that one, you can do it on my right side. Yeah, that one.
Some more brown. Okay, you can put that under. Let me see, what side was this one on? This one, so this side, and then this side.
Yeah. So what type of clear polish is that?
This is Bloomin' Gel.
What's that mean?
It makes the polish spread on your nail.
Oh. Okay.
So that's what gives it like a pretty marble look to it. You can do it without it, but it makes it look better when you use Bloomin' Gel, because it makes it spread throughout the nail, so you don't have to manually do it.
Question, do you know anybody that's like multi-talented with doing hair? Like braids, crochet, just...
I don't know anybody who, I actually don't know anybody who does, you know, like everything. And, you know, I don't get my hair done. Everybody always asks me, do I know people who do hair? I'm like, for I don't know people who do hair no more, because I don't ever get my hair done.
Right.
When you get locks, you just be out the loop because you don't do nothing to your hair.
Right, true. Okay. Darn it.
But if I see somebody on Facebook, I'll tag you.
Okay. Yeah.
Why? What you want to get done?
Cause, girl, me and my damn stylist fell out. So,
what you done? What you do?
Cause, girl, honestly, when I tell you, you're gonna be thinking I made this up. How ridiculous it was. So basically, she had done the style that I have right now, the butterfly locks, for my birthday, and she didn't let me know that she was using a different styling gel. So because of that, I was like,
let me see other hand.
So because of that, the way it looked, it what was it called? It made my hair look cloudy. Like, you know, when you put on edge control, like certain edge controls, and like it doesn't dry clear, it dries like a cloudy looking.
Like white and crusty.
Yeah. So needless to say, she didn't disclose that she was using new product on my hair because the normal the normal styling gel she used, I'm good to go on that. But anyway, she used that, and I started to notice that my hair was turning, like my actual root of my hair. So I hit her up and was like, hey, like, you know, like, do you know what's going on? Because basically I don't like that my hair's turning that color or whatever.
Right.
And then she told me like that, oh my bad, like she used, basically was trying to be cheap and use somebody's styling gel that she left because she had run out of her usual stuff and she didn't want it to go to waste. And then she told me what to do to what is it called?
Go to school at 8. Just wake me up when you're ready.
Okay, I'm about to be done now.
Okay.
I got like maybe 15 minutes.
Okay. By the time I fall asleep, you'll be done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, so for the for this nail, these
Which
two
one?
nails, on the actual line where you have the part in, I wanted to put the
You want the foils or you want these?
Yeah.
Like just little tiny stones?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's my phone? This thing is always so hard to get open. I love you, Zule, but oh, child, be so hard to get open.
Oh, you talk about that
This glue.
Now you got me thinking, should I do the foil?
Let me see. I mean, you can put the foil on every nail if you want to. It's just going to be texturized on every nail.
Right.
It's up to you. It don't matter to me.
Actually, yeah, we can do the foil, and then on the center of the pinky nail, I'll do a what you call it?
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. But anyway, so she tells me what to do to clear it up or whatever, and then I was like, okay, like I left it at that. So then that's when she hits me up like the day after my birthday and asks like, hey, how's my hair? And I was like, it's okay, but you know, for next time, can you not use that what is it called? That stuff on my hair, like, you know, and you definitely shouldn't have an issue with it because that's not even your normal products that you use. You just was trying to use that to, you know, save money or whatever. So then she's like, oh, you know, no problem, like, sorry about that. Well, you know, you can start buying your own edge styling gel. So then I'm like, skirt? I'm like,
why would I buy my own?
Why do I gotta buy my own styling gel now just because you basically want to use whatever you want to use? And because I got an issue with that one specifically.
Like I like the old one.
Exactly.
Go back to the old one.
Exactly. And then too, it's like that's part of what I'm paying you for. Like,
exactly.
When
I'm not providing nothing.
Unless you're providing the hair, which you don't, of course. Like I'm like you're paying for them to have the styling gel and the oil sheen and the mousse and whatever else in between, you know. So anyway, I tried to call her when she said that because I'm the type of person that once it started getting like that, I'm like, nah, like we need to discuss this over the phone because I'm taking this the wrong way.
Right.
This is gonna be too much.
I need to hear your tone.
I need to hear your tone, and then it'll just be quicker to resolve it than typing and you know typing essays to each other for what, you know. So then she ignores my call and says, you know, like please basically text me. So that already gets me even more tight because I'm like, why you, acting funny on not picking up the phone when we discussing business, you know what I'm saying? So then that's when that's why I sent that message about, you know, like, you know, why do I need to start supplying my own stuff when that's part of what I'm paying you for when you're doing my hair. And then two, that's not even your normal supplies you use. You just use that on the fly this time or whatever. So then here she go can now pick up the phone and call. She's calling me now. Once I sent that message. And girl, immediately she's going on about, like, first of all, she feeling some type of way. I'm over here like, I don't understand why. You could tell that she is aggravated with me. And she's like basically saying that it's the message for her, and like critiquing me on how I came off at her, and I should have said, said whatever I said whatever in the message this way, because it was like I was coming off at her. And she was basically trying to say that pretty much that she don't understand why I'm the only one that has an issue with her using those products, and other people, they were cool with just using if something came up with their hair discoloring, they was just cool with just doing whatever she suggested to get rid of it. Like they didn't have no issue, or they would just apply their own stuff. And if I have sensitive hair or certain needs, then I just need to supply my own stuff. And like kept saying, it's the message for me, it's the message, this and that. And then that's when I let her finish, say her whole rant, right? And the whole time it's like she coming off like she checking me, like she got an issue. So I'm like, okay, well, first of all,
put that under.
I'm telling her pretty much couldn't even get my point fully across, because she kept arguing with me pretty much. And it kept escalating more and more, because you know how when you're trying to like de-escalate and calmly talk to people, but they think that that's the green light to like bulldoze over you and stuff. Basically kept doing that, like, cause I was addressing, cause I don't only have an issue with the edge control anymore, the styling gel. It's now about how you acting funny on the phone, how you talking to me the way you talking to me. It's about more than that. So I'm telling her,
you over it. We almost done.
We almost done, boo. We almost done, babe. Yeah.
She said,
promise.
You are? Okay.
I promise.
Thank God.
But yeah, like so I'm basically trying to tell her, well, first of all, the fact that you think that you can pick up the phone and ignore somebody is, you're not going to be doing that with me. Like, you're not going to be acting like, 1 minute, I don't feel like talking on the phone with you. And when you have an issue or something you need to discuss, but if I have an issue, I could just call you lickety-split type of thing. And then she kept bringing up the fact that she was taking a nap and I'm interrupting her from her nap.
Not her taking a nap.
And I'm like, bitch, like, you chose to call me. You reached out to me. You chose to message me and ask me about Lala. Hey, stick that little lip back in your back in there. Giving me the bottom lip. No. Where your passy? No, girlie. There you go. But anyway, oh damn, I got lint all over that.
I'll wipe it off with alcohol. Hopefully it come off. I mean, without messing up anything.
Sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, so basically I'm trying to tell her that, that's not cool that you ignored my call, but then you had an issue with what I quote unquote said. So so then you can all of a sudden pick up your phone and then basically trying to explain to her, because she also called me entitled too. She said that she feels like I'm entitled, and she feels like I think that everything needs to go my way and all this and that. And then that's when I was like, I don't understand how you calling me entitled, because I really took offense to that, because I don't conduct myself that way at all. But at the same time, with me being your client, you know, like you need to listen to
This one? I'm sorry.
Sorry.
You want a big one on it? In the middle? Like in the middle of it? Like a diamond one? Or...
Let me see which ones you...
or just some small ones, like all over.
I actually never had that square one. You could do one square one.
This one?
Yeah. But yeah, and I was telling her, like, you know, as the client, like, I'm telling you my preference, and nobody was even coming off at you on a rude level, like, but at the same time, you know, I'm gonna let you know that, hey, I didn't appreciate you using that, and you're asking me, you know, hey, how did I feel about my hair and this and that and the third, but then when somebody tells you you got an issue,
right,
and basically we was arguing over nothing pretty much because she basically had an issue with me not wanting her to use that on my hair. She basically felt like I should have just not had an issue with it. That's pretty much to sum it up.
Lord.
And try to make it seem like I was being entitled and I was being, you know, unreasonable with her, and like and trying to turn it around saying I was being rude to her. And girl, like I told you, I couldn't get a word in edgewise except for the little parts that I did say about how she was being funny with her phone, and that she not gonna talk to me any kind of way, all of that. And then it just got to a point where she was like, well, you know what, I'm just oh, can you move the what you call it?
What?
Move the middle one a little bit.
Hold on.
Okay.
You gotta go. Don't move it up when I take it away. Go like this to me.
Mm-hmm. Oh damn! I didn't think it was that what you call it? Oh, but you could still use that one. Okay. But yeah, and what am I about to say? Yeah, basically, you know, wouldn't even let me get a word in edgewise, and you know, I kept telling her that
like this.
Pretty much, I don't know who she thinks she's talking to and trying to bully on the phone, but you're not about to do that with me. Like, I'm over here trying to talk reasonably and calmly with you, and there shouldn't be no reason you getting all unprofessional and ghetto and irate over nothing.
Right.
You know, because at the end of the day, it's you that was wrong for not even letting me know you was using that. And then two, you trying to act like I'm supposed to be okay with whatever you putting in my head. Like, no. So, and then she just was like, you know what, trying to be like, oh, well, you not even talk about nothing. You not even talk about the edge control, this and that. I'm like, because your ass won't even let me finish a sentence, let alone talk about the edge control. And she was like, you know what, go ahead, say what you got to say, because after this, we're done. I'm done anyway.
Yeah.
And
the drama.
And I was and at first I was trying to say it, and then I was gonna be done too, because you know you took it way too far. But then she just kept interrupting me, kept, you know, doing the most. So I just hung up on her ass and blocked her. Mid-sentence she was talking. But it made no sense. Like, I did not provoke this girl at all to do me like that. Right. At all. Like, I mean, as much as me and you've done business together, you know, literally the way I talk and the way I am with you, that ain't a you thing. That's how I am with everybody. You know, like I treat people with respect, and you know, I'm cool, but at the same time I am gonna express to you, hey, like, you know, this is my preference or whatever.
Right.
And, you know, as the stylist, you should have definitely what is it called?
Catered to you a little more.
Basically, yeah, thank you. Like, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, like, it's like people just search for a reason to fall out with you. Like, that's how I felt about that. I was like, you know what? She woke up and she just was like, you know what? I don't.
She chose violence.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to bang with Tanisha no more because there was no reason. And mind you, I knew her before she started doing my hair. We used to work together at McDonald's, and you know, she was doing my hair for a few months before that even happened. So, like, the fact that it escalated to that, you would have thought I barely knew this girl.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, girl. So that's what happened. That's why I don't got no stylist no more.
Oh, child. Well, some people be having businesses too, and they don't really know how to like handle customers, if that makes sense, or clients, because they've never been in a setting where they really had to. Like, I always tell people, like, I feel like the best people to take like clients and stuff are people who have worked in like customer service before and were actually good at working in customer service.
I was just about to
because
say,
you have to use that in
good.
everyday, you know, life when you're doing stuff like this.
Exactly.
Okay, you want rhinestones anywhere else?
Nah, that was good. Thank you, boo.
Let me see.
But no, exactly. You actually be good at customer service,
right?
Because other than that, no, like, that was completely unprofessional.
Mm-hmm.
That was so uncalled for, you know. And then why would you even want it to have escalated like that and, you know, stop a regular, you know, unless I genuinely was coming at you, disrespecting you, then, you know, not all money is good money, but I wasn't even coming at you like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't care how bomb you do my hair, like, you know, my respect comes first, you know, and that's what sucks about it, because, oh my God. Oh, that one was still wet.
It had, one of them was.
But yeah, that's what sucks about it, because she could do a lot of different styles that I would show her. So, but like I said, you
gotta find somebody new.
Yeah, because that's another way people think that they can, you know, talk to you any kind of way and
that one need to be
treat you
more
any type of way because they think you need them.
Mm-hmm.
No, I do not. And a top clear coat goes on top, right? Okay.
Go ahead and cure that one, though.
Okay.
I just want to fully cure them. I'm going to have you cure this one, too, one more time, and then I'll top coat them all.
Okay.
This one. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know anybody who does like a whole, but I always know specific people for specific things, like someone who does Marley twists or someone who does locks, or you really don't see too many people doing like everything anymore. Are they hard to find?
And that's what sucks.
I
Like,
know.
why people like that gotta bite the hand? No. Because, I mean, every single style I show her, she could do, or I'll see stuff on her profile that she's already done, and I'm like, ooh, I want that to be my next style. But she was tripping. Why can't I have nice things?
Maybe y'all will get cool again.
Hmm.
Maybe. She like,
I ain't got time for that bipolar bullshit. You stay over there.
Right.
Cause what in the world? And then those be the very people that, when you think back on all the stories and the sob stories they told you, you like, you know what? I'm starting to think it was
you.
It was you.
I don't know if it was them. It might have been you.
Because the way that you just randomly, you know, went left. I mean, shoot.
Probably done this before.
Yeah. And I try so hard not to let it get to that point too. That's how you know you could really walk away from situations with people, because you like, nah, I really try to talk some sense in yourself, you know,
Right.
but you just kept, you know.
What? I wonder what we gonna eat. Every time we go somewhere, we always eat somewhere out, but I ain't gonna say nothing, because then she gonna say no. But when we get out and she sees something, or if I see something good, she gonna be like, okay,
let's eat.
So I can't pre-say anything. I gotta just say it in the moment.
Especially because what is it? When it starts getting later in the day.
Doesn't nobody feel like cooking?
No.
Even though we do got food here, because I made some curry chicken last night. So, but I don't want to eat that right now. I can have that tomorrow.
You're not in the mood for that right
For
now.
leftovers. Because I had it last night. You put the other one in?
Oh, I had to go for a second time. Just to be sure.
Okay. Mine's ashy.
Oh, it's okay, mine too.
My hand's always ashy, I swear.
But then when I'm about to put some lotion on, I'm like, it's no point, because I'm about to do this or wash my hands, get my nails done, whatever. This one's my favorite one. Which one?
The one where half of it is covered with the marble.
Oh, yeah.
It's so pretty.
It's like a different vision of an autumn nail. That's what I really like.
Almost like a portrait. Yep, no more of these. It's winter.
Oh.
No, about to be.
Facts.
After Thanksgiving.
And I gotta start looking at some winter ideas. Do you already know? Oh, I was about to say, do you already know? I can look at some that you...
Look, I got a whole bunch. I'll send them to you. And that's all I've been saving the past few weeks.
Because, I mean, yeah, the Christmas nails, but then we got until daggone March for winter nails.
I know.
The way the weather's set up, so...
But you know, everybody started doing Christmas nails right before Christmas. For after Christmas, people start going back to the colorful sets.
Especially because Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, Valentine's Day. That's what we go to after Christmas. Start with the Valentine's Day sets. I did maybe 1 or 2 Valentine's Day sets last year, but I wasn't like heavily into nails. So
they were kind of like simple.
This year, one of them was actually really cute, and I think I'm gonna do a recreate on it, and I'm gonna do it on a longer set of nails because they were short, but they were really pretty. Keep saying I don't think I got nothing to do tomorrow, but I think I do. I just can't think of it right now. I know I gotta make my friend a pan. She want a pan of yams. She tricked me into making her a pan of yams.
How'd she trick you?
Because she okay, so I was in Walmart and sweet potatoes was on sale for 27 cents a pound. And I had posted it so people could know, you know, like if they needed to go get some where they was on sale at. So she comments and she's like, what did she say? Oh, give me some and I'll cash app you. So I was like, you know, thinking that she wants some to make for herself. And I said, then I'm about to leave and I have forgot. And I was like, oh, let me go get her yams. And I said, don't put that under yet. I said, how many do you want? And she was like, however many it takes you to make a pan. I said, huh?
I'm weak as hell. Nice.
I said, okay, Kim.
Nice.
You got me.
And you know that's going to be her contribution to Thanksgiving.
No, I know. I know she using
I made the site.
Right.
Is it hard to make yams?
Not to me. That's my favorite dish. Everybody makes them different though. Oops, I put too much on it. Yeah, everybody makes them different, so
maybe for Christmas you'll do the yam and mac jar again.
I was gonna do that, but a lot of people said that they didn't want it, so I didn't do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what?
They said that
they can keep their comments to themselves, okay?
This one got lint in it or something. Yeah, a lot, because I was gonna do them last week or the week before, and I had made a post, and they were like, no, we rather have plates. So I just did. I think I did jars or plates instead, like jars of
I guess I can mix it on my own. Hey, Sugarfoot. Yeah.
Hey, it sounded like she said, hey.
Yeah, girl.
Okay, you can go ahead and put them under.
Okay.
What am I doing?
Will they flake off?
Well, what?
Or the what you call it?
No,
Okay.
they're top coated. They have top coat on them, so
Okay,
they shouldn't go nowhere. Even if they do, it's a lot on there, so it won't look like anything came off if any of them do flake off, but they shouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, the top coat sealed them in, so they should be good. We're done, lady.
I know. We're about to bounce, girl.
We're done, little lady. She's making me dry. I heard her.
She knows she's funky here too.
Mm-hmm. I know. I already figured I was gonna drive though, cause she don't get off work until 6 in the morning, and then we're supposed to be leaving that day.
Oh.
Yeah, so at least I'll start driving.
Right, yeah.
It's only 6 hours though. The drive is really not long at all.
From
here, it's
my
only
place to North Carolina, where my mom's side is from, is 4 hours. So.
Oh, I'm hungry.
Hey, Mommy, guess what we're gonna do while we're on the trip?
I heard.
What? You gonna be driving the whole thing.
So you get some sleep.
Yeah, I hope you get some coming back.
Oh yeah, I'll drive back.
I know.
I just get off that sleep.
You ain't got no choice.
I'm clearly not getting no sleep today or tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I know. Okay, I guess.
Oh, I know you want to take a picture.
Oh, I scheduled your appointment for 4:15 tomorrow.
Okay.
I text you the location.
So you taking Chris to get his haircut?
Yeah.
Oh.
Clearly.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Because I figured.
Just wanted to make sure that you're driving there.
Bye, Chris. We've established this.
Because I gotta.
That's so dirty. Ugh. Everything's just
everywhere.
everywhere.
Stuff to do tomorrow anyway. I'm not getting no sleep today. I'm gonna be grumpy. I just leave me alone.